Alright, thank you very much. Hello everybody, it's your good friend Possible here, and I'm back in action with another look at another batch of movies that are coming out this weekend. You know, this one has me both excited and worried. I do want to see both these movies that are coming out, but I am a little concerned about what they have to offer. So let's take a look at them one by one. The first off, Hercules. We start off with Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, taking on the title role of one of mythology's strongest characters, Hercules. You know, it's so funny. It's no matter where you go, no matter what group you're in, there's always going to be this one character in the quote unquote universe. You know, be it DC comic book universe, mythology universe, religious universe, whatever. There's always going to be the strongest person around, a person who is pure muscle and strength. And that, of course, brings us to Hercules. Dwayne Johnson has finally done justice to the movie by making sure that he is beefing up more than humanly ever before. I wouldn't be surprised if he set a record or something. Now, grant you, I know that there are men out there who are like pure bodybuilders for years on end, and they are stronger than this and look, beefier than this. But that's not the point. The point is, for an actor, for the character role, I think he beefed up more than anyone else. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section. I would like to investigate any others. I guess Lou Ferrigno would be one when he took on the title role of Hercules. But it's all about The Rock. It's all about him, and he's really taking this seriously. He wants to look, he wants to feel. My issue with this movie is one of familiarity. If there's anything they should have done is a better job of looking at what the story should have been. Here we have Hercules. He just wants to be a humble man. He's the strongest man around. And what happens? Apparently Hades kills his wife and children. God of War much? And of course, so he goes after him. Hey, who is he going after? He's going to go after Hades. Clash of the Titans much? And, wait a second. It's not Hades in Roman mythology. Hades is Greek mythology. Okay, well, anyway, you get the idea. They steal too much from the other stories that we're familiar with. CGI looks barely passable. I know we're supposed to think it's so cool that Hercules goes into the swamp and then he gets pulled under, and all of a sudden this humongous I gotta be careful though, that's Greek mythology. I was gonna say hydrid. Oh shoot, I should have researched this a little bit better. But anyway, it wasn't a water monster anyway. The CGI looked okay. Ultimately, this movie is gonna get a see it, but with a niche qualification to it. You have to enjoy these kind of movies. The familiarity of it is what kills me. I just wish it was more original. The storyline was more original. The last thing that kills me about this movie is that line they like to put in these movies that really don't belong. It's that famous, if a man has determination, then he can defy the gods, okay? If a man, can believe in himself, then he can defy the gods. Beautiful statement. However, these are not men, okay? Perseus from Clash of the Titans and Hercules from Hercules are not all men. They're both half god, half man. So it doesn't work. It doesn't fit, okay? Not a big fan of that. Alright, so it's like, maybe if you could do something with an actual pure-blooded man, I could believe it. But without it, just doesn't fit. Anyway, enough of that. I think it's going to be good. I hope it's going to be worthy. It's just going to be very, very familiar. So, alright, next up, Lucy. Here, Scarlett Johansson will become limitless. Maybe she'll meet up with Charlie and buy some flowers for Algernon. Sorry, I cannot pronounce the name. But anyway, yes, Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson, will start to be able to use 100% of her brain power. And not only will she be able to learn faster and remember faster, but she'll be able to do all sorts of funky things and see the world in a funky way. Somehow, people who found out that she has these powers, because I think they're actually the ones who gave it to her, instead of calling her and saying, hey, why don't we come work together, or hey, why don't we come work this out, they're going to send a whole bunch of people out to kill her. Which doesn't work out very well, apparently, because now she has 100% of her brain power and whatnot. That said, the movie looks interesting. My only complaint, my only concern, I should say, I can't complain because I haven't seen the movie yet. My only concern is, are we giving her too much power? I mean, I get that she's going to be using 100% of her brain power, but let's face it, the reality is, when they do a CAT scan, there's not a 10% of your brain that's active, okay? And the rest is dormant. It's 100% active. Your brain fires on all cylinders. So the fact that she can do as much as she can, for me, pushes her too far. And if it's really that much power, why is she able to only do so much? Like, I remember this one scene, and I guess this is the reason why I want to see it. There has to be an explanation why there's 30 henchmen. I'm exaggerating, of course. There's 30 henchmen in the room. She uses her brain power and she knocks out 29 of them. One of them stands up pointing the gun at her still. Why is that? Why did she knock out everyone else but him? It's like she's being able to manipulate all these people, but there's always this one person who she doesn't be able to affect. Is that explained? This again suffers from the Hercules complex. My quote from the beginning of my description of Lucy. It's too familiar to us. Hercules is taking things from God of War and Clash of the Titans. Here, Lucy is already feeling like a ripoff of Limitless or Charlie, even though Charlie was a lot more smoother done. It was just about this guy who was mentally disabled, but because of a drug, he became super intelligent. Okay, Lucy also has a feeling of Lawnmower Man, and no, not Transcendence. Transcendence was different. I apologize, but anyway, you get the point. We have some good movies here. We got some superheroes who technically are not from the comic books. Hercules. Greek mythology. Is it Greek or is it Roman? I think it is Greek nowadays. Boy, am I ever off on my game today. Lucy, this whole idea of taking 100% of your brain. The real challenge with a movie like Lucy, it's not a question of what she can't do. Because if she can do all this stuff, it's a question of what's her kryptonite? How can we stop her? What's going to be her limitation? Apparently, she's not going to be limitless like Bradley Cooper was. So we'll have to see. I just want to see it also. It looks good. It looks like it has potential. There's a mystery to this one where it's like, how's it really going to end? What's going to be the limitations? What can she do with all these powers? But what can they do against her? The good news is that people are aware of her abilities and all of that. So we'll see where she takes this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's going to be a great weekend. So I hope I hope we can forgive the familiarity and not compare these movies like it's so easy to do with, Hercules. It's easy to compare it to Clash of the Titans and God of War. With Lucy, it's easy to compare it to Limitless and such and so forth. Are there any other movies like this? If there are, please leave a comment in the section below. I would like to know if there's any other movies where the people suddenly get super intelligent and can use all their brain power and they get these bizarre powers. And obviously they're not X-Men or something, but we'll see. We will definitely see because I am planning on seeing these movies. And I hope you too. Gotta do something to escape this heat, right? Alright guys, that's it for me for now. We'll see you